Hey guitar champion, what's going on? Justin Hombach here, back from my practice cave. Welcome to this lesson for this Romeo influenced Am6 tapped arpeggio. You've heard that lick in the beginning, and it's really awesome to create some interesting tapped arpeggio lines. As always, first I'm going to play this lick slow, then we're going to dive right into the lesson. Feel free to download the free tabs in the link in the description box, and without further ado, let's start the lesson. So the tap is based around 4 notes: the root, the minor third, the fifth, and the minor 6, the flat 6. And we are outlining with our tapping arpeggio all the different inversions. So we're first starting with our root, then third, fifth, minor 6. Then we are starting with our third, fifth, minor 6 root, then the fifth, minor 6 root, third, and then the minor 6, third, root, third, fifth. So, and we are starting with the first inversion. So we're starting with the root, and we're doing a hammer on from nowhere to the 5th fret on the E string, the A. Then we are playing A, minor third C, and we're tapping the 5th on the 12th fret from the E string. Then we are moving to our next string. And here we are doing a hammer on from nowhere to the 8th fret, which is the minor 6 of an A minor chord. You see, this is quite challenging, yes. To make the transition from a tapped note with our right hand to a tapped note and hammer from nowhere with our left hand. So I highly recommend you to practice this transition to the next string, like the following exercise. Just take those 2 notes and try to get them as clear as possible and as equally loud as possible. So yeah, the minor 6 sound is the X-Files sound. So after the first inversion, we're playing the second inversion, and here we have to hammer on from nowhere the third with our middle finger. And this is again quite challenging to get both notes, the tap note from the minor 6 to the first note from the second inversion, equally loud, because they are on the same fret on different strings with hammer-ons from nowhere. This is not so easy, so try to practice it like this. Try to do it staccato and legato. Okay, let's continue. The tap note stays the same until we reach the next inversion where we have to change the tap note. So we have 12th fret on the E string with our right hand. Then again the minor 6 on the 8th fret on the A string, hammering with our pinky to the 12th fret on the A string, which is our root. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was the next inversion. Now comes the third inversion, starting on the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. Here we have to change our tapping note. So we're starting on the 12th fret, going to the 8th fret with our index again, pinky again, 12th fret on the A string, and tapping the third, this time on the 15th fret on the A string. Then we continue with the next inversion. Here is quite a tricky jump, because we have to jump with our pinky from the 12th fret on the A string to the 14th fret on the D string. And this can be a little bit tricky. It's really unusual to do it like this. So, but with a bit of practice you get used to it. Then again comes the 12th fret on the A string, this time with our index finger. Again the tapping note. And then we have to add the -6, this time on the 15th fret of the D string. Oh, sorry. Here, playing the 15th fret on the A string again. The 5th, this time 14th fret D string. The -6. And here we are tapping the root note on the 19th fret of the D string. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This was the first bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now comes the second half of the second bar, starting on the 14th fret of the D string, our 5th, hammering to the -6, tapping the root note on the 19th fret of the D string. Now we're going to the G string. I recommend you to do this with the pinky on the 17th fret from the G string. So we can use our index to play the 15th fret on the D string, the -6, because we don't have to play the 14th fret on the D string anymore, because we're on the next inversion. So we can tap after that the root note on the, again, D string 19th fret, and we are switching with our index from the 15th fret D string to the 17th fret G string, where the minor third lies. This is another tricky part, so practice this jump like this. Or something like that. You see, this kind of arpeggio, or the elements of this arpeggio, are around everywhere in music. So far we have film music and video game music. Okay, let's continue. After that we can use our pinky to outline the 5th on the 21st fret of the G string. Then we are tapping again the root, our 19th fret on the D string. I'm playing this inversion, which is the same inversion as the inversion where we're starting, but 2 octaves higher. And we have tapped, hammer on from nowhere on the G string, hammer on in the 21st fret, and tapped in the 22nd fret. Now we are getting to a section where we have a little problem. To continue, we have to go farther up the neck, but the 24th fret is the B on the B string, obviously, and we have to play the C, we have to play the E, so we have to make a little string skip. We don't continue on the B string, we continue on the high E string, tapping the 17th fret on the E string, which is our A, our root. So our tapping journey continues on the E string, so there aren't so many inversions left, which means our tapping lick is pretty soon over. Okay, but let's continue. After we have tapped the 17th fret on the E string, we make a hammer on from nowhere with our pinky into the 19th fret of the G string. This is another jump you really have to practice and you really have to be aware of. You really have to be aware and really have to be careful that the notes are the same level and the same loudness. Then again we're tapping in the 22nd fret of the G string. Doing another hammer on from nowhere into the 17th fret of the E string. Playing the 3rd now with our pinky, 20th fret on the E string. Playing the tapping note again, this is the next inversion. And ending on the 24th fret of the E string, and from here on we can resolve into the 17th fret of the E string, our A. So let's check out every bar each for its own. The first bar is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the second bar goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. And the final bar goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And all together, first bar, second bar. We're going to the third bar.